I'm here to give you an honest assessment of this year's San Francisco 49ers draft class. And hey, it was a bit shocking to start. I know a lot of you guys, when you saw Ricky Pearsall called out as the 31st overall pick, it was kind of shocking because I think if the 49ers were going to take a wide receiver at 31, I think a lot of people had a different name in mind. But I think the consensus here is now that people have had time to kind of sleep on it, do their research, and understand what they're getting with this player, I think people have really come around to it. And one of the reasons why people have come around to it is because of his ability and athletic ability at that. This guy has tested in the 98th percentile in vertical, 92nd percentile in broad jump, and 94th percentile in the three cone drill. And when you look at his 40 and his short shuttle time, he's in the 80th percentile in both categories. So this is a guy who is an explosive athlete. So not only is he fit the athletic profile of typically what Kyle Shanahan is looking for, but when you watch him play, you can see the route running ability, his start stop ability, the way he is able to disguise his route concepts, the way he breaks off the top of his routes. He is a very, very natural separator and a crafty route runner. He has a ton of flexibility and he can really show off his technical proficiency when running routes. And he's a tough son of a gun. He's going to go up and get the ball. He will always attack it at its highest point. And this is a guy who's not afraid of contact. So all those things considered, I think the San Francisco 49ers got a guy who can win in a multitude of different ways, but I think fits what the San Francisco 49ers are ultimately going to do. And I think it helps when you see guys like CJ Stroud visibly upset that he didn't get to play with him with the Texans. The 49ers second round draft pick of Renardo Green. I thought this was a great pick. This was a my guy in this class. Not a lot of hype about him. Not a lot of people were talking about him, but this guy is the best press man cornerback in this class. 6 foot, 186 pounds out of Florida State. Has a ton of versatility. He can play outside. He can play inside. He can play safety potentially. He has a mean streak. He is super sticky in coverage. He can ride in the hip pocket and he does a phenomenal job of really timing passes when they're thrown to the wide receivers to get pass breakups. And on top of that, some of his best performances last season came against the best prospects in this class, like Malik Neighbors. He absolutely shut him down when they played LSU last year. Like I said, he just absolutely excels in press man coverage. He has exceptional reaction speed, and the ability to match releases off the line is phenomenal. And it's one of the reasons why he's able to stay in phase with wide receivers in man is because he can move and he can mirror, and it puts him in perfect position to play press and play man coverages. Um, I think it speaks to the 49ers kind of shifting a little bit some of their defensive philosophy, but overall, I think he's a good fit from a mentality standpoint, playing with guys like Diamondo Lenore and Charvarius Ward. I think that he can work on toning it down a little bit in regards to how handsy he plays sometimes. But in regards, for the most part, I think this was a great pick. Some people called it a reach. I thought it was a quality pick. And then when you continue to move on to the San Francisco 49ers, trading up to select Dominick Puni, 6'5, 313 pounds out of Kansas. This guy is a elite lateral mover, 97th percentile in the short shuttle, 85th percentile in the three cone. This guy knows how to move left to right, and that is one of the key traits that you need to look for in a offensive lineman who plays in Kyle Shanahan's scheme. Now, he is a guy who has a ton of versatility. He can play all five spots across the offensive line, and that's what makes him extremely valuable. He can play tackle, guard, and center on both sides, and that will be huge in him being able to stay on a roster for a long time. Moves very well in pass protection, and he is a mauler as well in the run game. San Francisco 49ers got a good one here in the third round. In the fourth round, the San Francisco 49ers got safety Malik Mustafa, 5'10, 209 pounds. This guy's just a thumper. He's a downhill kind of a safety, and I really think he is a good one. I thought this was a phenomenal selection for the San Francisco 49ers. This dude is strong as all hell. He's lifted over, when you look at his bench, squat, and clean, and you combine those, he's lifted for over 1,300 pounds with those three exercises, and he's reached 23 miles per hour GPS in a game. So he's fast and he's strong, and he will come downhill and he'll punch you in the face. He does well in zone, and he's able to fill the run game exceptionally well. His coverage skills are amplified by his ability to be swift from close distances, and he challenges passes quite often. He's definitely a versatile defender, and I think the San Francisco 49ers have a knack for drafting good safeties, and I think they got another one right here. Jacob Cowing, fourth round selection. Now he gets knocked for his size, 5'8", 168 pounds, not very big, but this guy's a smooth criminal. He is one of the more fluid route runners in this draft class, regardless of his size, and he plays much larger than his frame may indicate. And he is a quality route runner. To be honest, I didn't think this was going to be a wide receiver that the 49ers liked, but they brought him in for a top 30 visit, and I think they just really fell in love with the kid. I had an opportunity to speak with him at the combine, and he's just a super humble guy, but you can tell he's got a massive chip on his shoulder, and when he plays football, you can see it. That toughness shows up, and he is a handful to deal with on that football field. Plays really well in multiple areas, whether stretching, deep downfield, short to intermediate, or playing behind the line of scrimmage. This guy is definitely going to be a guy that Kyle Shanahan is going to be able to utilize in his offense. The 49ers, I don't think this was much a surprise that they were going to draft a running back. I actually think this was pretty open to see, and they got one of the fastest running backs in the entire class. Uh, with Garendo, he tested in the 98th percentile in 40 time, and he also has a 99th percentile in regards to vertical and 97th percentile in broad jump. So this guy is another athletic freak, and I think there is a huge theme in a lot of these prospects that we've seen with the San Francisco 49ers. There's some athletic freaks. There are some key elements and traits in regards to what these guys do. They're pretty freaky when it comes to being some athletes. Also, when you look at Isaac Garendo, he's a former track champion. He really does show elite speed, but he also has great ability to read, start, stop, cut, and really has great field vision. So I think this is going to be a good pick, and it kind of resembles the Elijah Mitchell pick from a couple years ago. The 49ers also drafted Jarrett King, offensive lineman out of USC, 6'4", 306 pounds. Um, Another elite tester, 90th percentile in 40, 93rd percentile in shuttle, and 99th percentile in bench press. And he tests in the green in pretty much every other category. So another elite tester. He is a former captain at Stanford, transferred to USC, where he finished his career as a fifth-year senior. He played 11 games, and hey, he played pretty well at right guard. He most likely will be a center in the NFL, but he showed some promise on tape. Now, he's not great in one-on-one situations in the run game, but he's really good at getting to second level and pulling. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares at the NFL level, but so far could be a decent value pick. And with the last pick of the San Francisco 49ers in this draft, the 49ers took Tatum Bethune out of Florida State. The 6 foot, 229-pound linebacker has all the makings of a converted safety into linebacker. He just gives off those vibes, and that's what the 49ers love. Um, he was a fifth-year senior last year. He played in 12 games. He had 40 tackles and 30 stops. He played pretty well in coverage and could be a guy who challenges for a roster spot with the 49ers issues with the Dre Greenlaw injury. But overall, I think when you look at this class, some people might like it more than others. And I think I might be one of those guys who likes it more than others because they did take multiple prospects that I really liked in this class. So I was pretty hyped on some of the picks. Um, I think that there's a mixture of picks here that are going to be instant impact. And I think the 49ers are going to be able to utilize these guys next year to help win games. And so to me, that makes this draft a good one because that's exactly what we were looking for. But you guys let me know what you think about this draft in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.